Good day, everyone. Good morning. How are you? And welcome to the program. I'm, of course, RJ. This is RJ making coffee in his underwear. Let's get a look at the underwear today. It is fun. Spring is almost sprung. Happy Groundhog Day. These are, I believe, roses. I'm not a florist nor a botanist. I guess it's a floral pattern. I guess nobody says a rosal pattern unless that's a word. Let me know. Also, I got this redness on my face, and I'm trying to get rid of it. So I have put the aloe, and then I put some drops of peppermint in it. But the peppermint is so strong that it's so close to my eyes, it looks like my eyes are watering. So I'm not crying. I mean, I am emotional, but I'm not crying. Also, if you're new to the whole thing, I got monetized on the YouTube. So now you can hit the $ button if you want to, I guess, tip me like I'm some sort of coffee waiter. And it does a fun thing with your comments. You can make these fun blue comments that stay at the top, or you can add stickers and shit. Or you can just comment for free. No one's bothering. Everything's the same plus this. A nice gal named Jessamine there put $5 donation. And get those donations in, ladies and gentlemen. See, she put first, and then this other guy called adult_virgin. He put 501. I guess this is a Price is Right scenario for this guy. And then Bill Alexander put a $5 and said, "Buy a cup of coffee on me." Well, we're making more than a cup, Bill. We're making the whole French press. Bill said good morning. Nails New York said good morning. Adult version is waving and said it's okay to cry, and it is okay to cry, and you should get it out, because what happens is, like old men, they don't cry for like 40 years, and then on their daughter's wedding day, it comes out and it's all violent, because that's like decades worth of crying. I would say once every 3 months, if there's been no tragedy in your life, you should still try to force yourself to have a good cry. Put on some Annie Lennox and see what happens. Michelle says, "It's my fault your eyes are watering. I'm chopping onions right now. Put some peppermint in the onions and you'll really bawl." Balthazar says, "Good morning. Good morning to you, Balthazar." Nels New York said, "How are you, RJ? Have you had a good week?" I've had a delightful week. Things are going on, comings and goings, things of that nature. Again, if you're just joining us, I have a floral pattern on. It's Groundhog Day. I don't know the results because there's 50 groundhogs, all across North America, and they all have different results. There should only be one. It's not Groundhog's Day. It's Groundhog. This is hog. Clarence said, "Hi, RJ, it's Clarence. I saw your tweet. I think it's a great idea for me wanting Scott Dawson to be a part of my show. It's okay to show a beautiful Scott side. We'll make Scott welcome. Why don't you continue to tweet Scott and let him know that? I'm sure he'll enjoy that." Anthony Cicito said, "Well, you're up early." Well, this is the same time. Every show is 9:30 a.m. on the Sunday. Make me coffee and pancakes, or I will make you coffee, but I only make pancakes for certain people, namely me. Alex Linder said, "Have you ever heard of Party Hard Wrestling in Arizona? Best indie fed around." Well, get me booked there, and I'll tell you if that's true. Glenn said, "Good morning, RJ. Ooh, question of the morning, better show. Bewitched or I Dream of Jeannie?" Maybe I Dream of Jeannie. No, maybe Bewitched. Bewitched had Agnes Moorehead and Paul Lynde. So if I was going to go that way, I would say that. Just for that, for the round out cast to me. Ty said, "Good morning, sir." Good morning to you, lady. Rye donated $5.02. The battle is on, and hopefully we'll cure this disease. Get your donations in. No, this is PBS. If you donate $100, I will send you an RJ City tote bag. Michelle said, "Peppermint chili." That could be interesting. Adult version said, "Who's the dominant hog then?" I don't know what that means. Is that a genital reference? Colleen said, "Groundhog Day doesn't apply in Michigan. Our weather has a mind of its own." They always say like, "Well, it'll be 6 more weeks of winter," or just a really cold spring. Cold Spring Harbor, if you're familiar with that, in New York. I used to go there as a child. I used to go to the Whaling Museum. Shout out to the Whaling Museum of Cold Spring Harbor. I'm sure they're watching. Pantyless Grandma says, "Hog death match on Groundhog's Day." Amelia insists that Bewitched is better than I Dream of Jeannie, and I think it has the better song, too. Na 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 And Dream of Jeannie was dun, 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 dun. It's too commercial. Sam said, good morning, RJ. Thank you for everything you do. And I'm trying so hard, Sam, so thank you. Taylor said, RJ's sparkly eyes are the best part of any morning. Well, it's only Sunday, and it's only sparkly because I'm tearing because of the peppermint on my face. OSWF 248 says, any chance we can get a special gray sweatpants episode? I'm wearing floral ass underwear. You got it. I'm doing okay. So calm down with the gray sweatpants. I'm giving you less material here. It's a great question by Balthazar. Who's the better Van Dyke, Jerry or Dick? Now everyone's Dick Van Dyke because he sings. But if we're going for comedic foil, I'd take Jerry in a heartbeat. Nails in New York said, do I care about the Super Bowl? Do I care about anything? And will I be taking advantage of the streets being empty? You know what? A couple of years ago, I wanted to try this pizza place. I went on Super Bowl Sunday. There was nobody there. It was just me, and I had all the pizza I wanted. So if you don't like the Super Bowl, now's the time to go out. Look, I'm sorry. I also have a lot of gifts to show off. There's a lot going on, and the coffee thing's going to boil soon, so I want to do this. Somebody gave this to me in Buffalo. Since last week, I had coffee with Dan Housen. This says Coffee House, and she added the EN, so it's now Coffee Housen. And it's from Michigan. The notes are pink grapefruit, honey, and tangerine. Oh, she is standing there. So I've ground it already, and we're gonna scoop it in before the water starts boiling and ruins really the whole show. Give me a second here. 1, 2, and then I can show off all the wonderful gifts. I've really been showered. I'm in a bidet of gifts. 5. Okay. Very nice. Bill Alexander said, since I invited Scott Dawson on, he mentioned dad underwear only. So are there any standards you place on your guests before they come in? No. Underwear can mean different things to different people. Everyone has a different sized and shaped crotch. So they're welcome to wear what's most comfortable for them. Glenn L. says, merch idea, RJ City underwear. So your viewers can watch your show in their RJ City underwear. I've thought about it. I've also thought about coffee mugs. I don't know if I want to gander at the sizing options for the crotchal area of wrestling fans. Max Schotter said, I imagine you'll be planning my intentions to go for the ROH Pure title, being the best pure technical wrestler in the world. Yeah, you know what? Let's tweet Ring of Honor and say I deserve a pure title shot. I would like to ruin this entire division before it restarts again. Go knock yourselves out. D. Credia said, oh, first of all, donated $5.49. So we are hot. We are climbing. And I can't wait to see the final tally at the end of the 24 hours. He says, Bewitched is better just because Ferris Bueller dances to it. That's apples and oranges. You can't look at the cultural impact after. But that will tell you something. It's probably so good that it resonated with John Hughes more than I Dream of Jeannie did. Nails in New York said, I went to Creative Pro last night. You would be great against Aaron Rourke or Eric James. I'm going to tweet and beg for you to be booked. Do it. Love that Danhausen. I love that coffee house. And to be honest with you, Colleen said Mom would definitely use an RJ coffee mug. I'm looking into them, Colleen. Please bear with me. Michelle said, I love y'all's Who's On First. Oh, yes. Wonderful Danhausen, a comedic genius. Steven said, Bewitched, kitschy, Paul Lynde. That's what I mean. Paul Lynde. Just for if I, apples and oranges, I say, which one did Paul Lynde? Taylor says, have you ever done one of those underwear subscriptions, or do I buy off the rack? I buy off the rack because I like to find odd items, and then people give me some. There's a lot going on. So I don't like to sign up for a real, like a Fruit of the Month Club kind of thing. Nelson New York said, oh my God, can we have RJ City underwear with, hey buddy, what are you, a piece of shit or something, written around the band? I mean, you could logistically. I'm sure it would just cost a lot of money. And then I got to charge like $60 to make any money back on it. It's really a whole thing. Balthazar says, is there a story you can tell where you're excited for a guest WWF wrestler at a show, and when they got there, they were the biggest piece of shit or something? No one I've dealt with has been... Oh, the water's... Balthazar, please. Hold on, please. Let me pour, and I'll answer Balthazar's question. Nobody I've dealt with has been a piece of shit or an asshole. Even when I've heard that they have been assholes and I've been expecting them to be assholes, they're not to me, which makes me go, oh, am I an asshole too? And that somehow neutralizes both assholes? I'm not quite sure. because anyone who's like kind of an asshole, like an old name, is probably just like tired and like over this stuff, and so am I. So I think we get along. There we go. We'll leave it like that. It's an excellent question, Balthazar. I'll tell you who I don't like. Mark Ruffalo. I know he's not a wrestler, but I'm not a fan of him. So again, if you're just joining us, I'm making coffee hausen, which is adorable, and I'm wearing floral print. And I got this monetization thing. You can click the money thing and you make a thing, and it's fun because I do this for free, but you can still watch for free. I'm not changing. I'm not going anywhere. I want to show you the gifts. First of all, dear Lord, I got this wonderful Sophia Chia Pet. It's an Arquette special. People have difficulty finding the bee. They tell me they look and they can't find the Dorothy Chia Pet, maybe because it's such a hot seller. I'm sure the rose ones are still on the shelves. There she, look at how happy, right? But this is a good one. She had the hair, I think, that would warrant the Chia Pet. I don't know if you can really get that square shape. Dorothy's was a little more flowing. May said, underwear. Oh, Michelle said, I can only see my own comments. Is anyone else experiencing that? I see everyone. May Miller said, RJ City underwear would be worth the price just for a poop emoji on the butt or in them. Angel said, good morning, my sweetheart, RJ. Well, Angel, it's so sweet of you. Very sorry I missed a bit. Jim was super busy this morning. It's February. It'll die off by March. So Karya said, good morning, RJ. You're wearing very romantic underwear. So I'm in a romantic mood. I'm engaged in the throes of passion with my own life. Glenn said, if you were cast as a facts of life love interest, who are you picking, Blair or Tootie? I'm picking Blair. I think we have chemistry. And I think, people have been saying that about me for years. I'm a Blair guy. Neil said, good morning. Adult Virgin donated $5.50. This is a real dick swinging contest here. RJ City is everyone's favorite wrestler's favorite sports entertainer. That's true. That's very, very true. And I can't wait to challenge for the Ring of Honor Pure title. I was also gifted this in Buffalo, which is fantastic. It was a little chocolate man, right? And it says, the perfect man. He's sweet and decadently rich, just how a man ought to be. And then there's dino tape here. It says, RJ makes coffee in his underwear. Isn't that sweet and adorable and wonderful and beautiful? I like it. It's from Treat Street. Decorated premium milk chocolate man, which is what it says on my Tinder. Also, the other gift I have, which is outstanding. Oh, hold on. Nails in New York said the animation videos, like the DX one that is currently doing the rounds on Twitter. What came first, the animation or the voiceover? Okay, that is something I wrote a while ago, and it was a YouTube video. It was just me talking to the camera, and I think it's up on my YouTube. And this animation company, Solus Animation, are delightful people, and they came to me and they said, we want to try animating one and work on a couple ideas of stuff, and that's what we're doing. And they did an amazing job. They made it so much better. I didn't think it would be live action. I didn't think it would make any sense, but it made total sense. So go follow them, SOLIS, and more will come. Sports Center, Nana said, I'm late arriving. I mean, I'm not a pregnancy scare. What do I miss? Well, provided you've stopped bleeding, I have these wonderful floral underwear on. I'm making coffee hausen, which is currently in the thing. I have this wonderful Sophia Chia Pet. I have this perfect chocolate man. And furthermore, I have this wonderful Xavier Cugat painting, which was gifted to me by David Arquette. As you may know, I was on a quest to date Charo that didn't seem to be going so well. David acted like he had the hookup, and he does not have the hookup. They just happen to live in the same city. I followed her on Instagram. She does not follow me back. And as a slap in my face, David got this Xavier Cugat. Xavier Cugat was a composer and an artist and was Charo's first husband. And it's this velvet here, and it's a little man singing. So I got that. That's what you've missed. Adult Virgin said, I had such a laugh at that video meaning the cartoon. Please do all of them. I'll see what I can do. Parnell said, are you planning a special Valentine's edition, or are you anti-Valentine's Day? Well, I already have this chocolate man. So, realistically, how can I lose? I'm having a hoot. I'm having a swell time. I would like to live each day like Valentine's Day. Anyone who goes hard on Valentine's Day is just like a dick the rest of the year. So I would like to take my Valentine's Day lust and romance and admiration and spread it out through the year. Bill said, speaking of gifts, Zack Ryder sent you an autograph of Jerry Van Dyke to replace the Craig T. Nelson. Was it a fair trade? It wasn't about trading. It was a gift to him, and he gave a gift to me. And I'm going to keep sending back and forth until we have the whole cast of Coach. Spot Center said, can you flex for chest flexor? Absolutely not. Nails in New York said, you're hilarious. More content, please. I'm happy to beg. Chippy, chippy, chippy. Glenn L. said, if you watched Bosom Buddies, and I really didn't. Did you really see Tom Hanks becoming so famous over Peter Scolari? Now, that's something I didn't. Peter Scolari's doing well. They did a Where Are They Now thing, and he's still friends with Tom, and they still hang out. I think he was the funnier actor. Just throwing it out there. It's a hot take. Glenn L. said, oh, no, I did this already. Spot Center said, I've had that chocolate man before. And how was he? And did he call you back? Nails in New York said, now you're monetized. Perhaps Chelsea Green could give you your $10 back. I think everybody should tweet Chelsea after they tweet Ring of Honor and say, hey, just give it to him on his YouTube show. That would be a lot easier. That way she doesn't have to, because, so I'm not planning on seeing her ever again in my life. She's not going to hand me cash. Not that she would have done it anyway. But this way, it's a digital transaction. All right, let's get to pressing. Nails in New York said, love the book readings. Yes, I've been reading wrestling books, and they're very informative. Played the Triple H one for my husband, Rob, who loves Triple H, and he was crying, laughing at you. Well, sometimes it's okay to just cry. If he wants to just cry, he doesn't need to laugh. He doesn't have to mask his emotions with laughter. If he wants to watch the video and cry, that's totally okay with me. All right, let's get a pressing. This is exciting. This is a good one. Spring is springing. I'm feeling good. It's Groundhog Day. It's Super Bowl Sunday. I have an Xavier Cugat painting. I've incurred the wrath of Cugat. But we're going to let it all slide as we just press and think about our day and how good it's been so far and how good it will continue. Look at how red my face is. This is a disaster. I apologize, everyone. Aaron says, wait. Is gay the gimmick, or are you actually? Dear Lord, Aaron, I don't have the time to unpack your comments. I am me, and I certainly seem to enjoy it. If you do too, that's something you can talk with your therapist about, along with your comment etiquette. Adult Version said, let out all your emotions, Housen. I'll tell you, Danhausen's a good crier. Okay, now that we have poured this, I want to do a special thing. First, I want to show you another gift I got, which is very exciting. Caesar, sometimes I go to Buffalo, live from the Buffalo Zoo. He's the zookeeper there. And he got me this wonderful mug. It's from The View. Look at this. It's Whoopi and Meghan McCain, Tuya, who's holding a cactus for some reason. Oh, because she's from Arizona. And Sunny Hostin there. And the one that I don't know. And Joy Behar with her dog. And it says, take a little time to enjoy the view. And they're in New York. They're all, wait, is she driving the cab? Where's the cab driver? What side of the road? Well, I guess you can't see the driver. They're waiting. They're all getting in the cab. And these two are saying goodbye to them. Are they leaving the view? Nails New York said, do you ever have a cookie with your coffee, or are you too healthy? I like dunking hard Italian bread in my coffee. I like dunking toast in my coffee. I like dunking French toast in my coffee. There's plenty. If it's good coffee, there's a lot you can dunk into it. Pantyless Grandma said, coffee ASMR could be big. You have a nice voice for doing things. For doing voice things, sure. Raquel Durango. Good morning, Mrs. Durango. Hi, RJ. Good morning. You make my Sunday with this. You are something else, that's for sure. Keep on keeping on. May Miller says biscotti, and I agree. It's good to dunk in coffee. Adult Version said, I could listen to RJ describe anything. Literally, he could narrate a homeless man eating an old sandwich, and I would be there for that. Well, so would I, because I'd be very interested. Why is the sandwich old? Glenn said, better Ted Danson character, Cheers, Becker, or CSI? I liked him on Becker. He was a little more cantankerous and had less bravado, and I think it worked for him. Spot Center said, will Regis Philbin be on the show? If I can find his house, yes. Bill said, do you have breakfast before or after the show, and what's your favorite breakfast? This is a good question. I have breakfast before the show because coffee is like a digestive. So you need to eat and then digest by drinking the coffee. Also, you'll digest the caffeine along with digesting the food, so your caffeine high will be more sustained and longer, and you won't crash. Good question. My favorite breakfast, I have egg whites, kale, maybe an English muffin if I really want to fuck shit up. RJ has the greatest voice. Go watch his videos reading books. You will love them. Adult Virgin said, there's not much for variety when you're homeless. You got to take what you can get. Fair. Steve Lagston said, dancing on Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's a very good dancing. Let's get to porn, because I want to do something else in addition to this fun cup. I was also, another gift, I was given this little bulletproof butter shit. Powered to grass-fed butter power by a lovely gal who's up in the mountains. And I'm going to show you how to make it, because sometimes I used to make it, and then I used to do it in the bullet, and it used to explode the bullet. And that didn't work. It wasn't very practical. So it's just this like little powder thing, and I'm gonna put it all in. I will. I'm talking to myself like I'm the cameraman. Can we move this down? And I go, oh yes, sir. We'll move this down. So you put it in the cup here, and then you pour the coffee into it, which I should have tasted the coffee on its own first to make sure it was any good. It's a mistake I just made. So you pour that up, and now I got this little milk frother thing, unless you use it in the PM. Hey, that sounds familiar. I feel like I'm at an Italian dentist. Okay, and then you put it, but you don't want to stir too much or else it's going to spill, so you just kind of want to pulse it. You see I'm pulsing it before it starts getting the full spin, because this is about mixing, not about the frothing. Right? Otherwise, it's going to come all out. So I keep it near the bottom. I turn it on and off. It's gentle. It's just about the mixing. And then, this is disgusting. Delightful. There we are. And I'll give it a second to sit. So Karia said, I should come to Michigan. We got beaches without sharks and local coffee shops. What is the name of the town? I went to Saugatuck. They have a beach. Am I crazy? I went there once, and it was very nice. This is a good idea, Sokaria. And she, of course, $10'd it and beat everybody. Of course you would come through like that, because in many ways, you always do. So thank you. I'll see you in Saugatuck. Sledgehammer82 said, biscotti is just a desert crouton. Spot Center said, why did Animal have so much energy on The Muppet Show? That was before the pre-workout energy drink era. There was something else he was taking, and it wasn't through his mouth. Nails in New York said, I always feel more sophisticated after Sunday mornings with RJ. That is so sweet. By the way, Sakari, you picked a lovely yellow color. I like to see it in my feet. It's like a banana, and it's fun. Pantyless Grandma said, dunking hard Italian bread in my coffee is definitely going into this comic I'm drawing. I want to see this. Adult Virgin said, it's a one-man show. You've got all the hats on and are carrying on conversations with everyone in chat. Yeah, that's literally, that's the whole show. That's it. That's the whole show. Glenn said, now that we have discussed Muppets, what's the better Muppet, Sesame Street or The Muppet Show? Dear Lord, let me get a sip of this, please, first. Oh, that's good. That is a great gift to get someone who likes coffee. Ooh, I am feeling warm and fuzzy and full of hope. And full of whoopee. What's better, Sesame Street or The Muppet Show? Great question. I mean, The Muppet Show had some, I will say this, a lot of bravado, great segments and stuff, but has some drag spots, some songs that don't land. They try to do kind of art pieces and things. I think Sesame Street has the better paced show, to be honest with you. There's more variety, more adults. The adults were great on Sesame Street, and it goes different places. And they had way more celebrity cameos, way more. And I think the fact that Sesame Street is still running and the Muppet Show is not, I may be inclined to give the nod to Sesame Street. I also have a friend who works for Sesame Street, and I'm jealous of her, and I creep her Instagram constantly because she'll put up pictures with Grover, and I'll get very angry. So there. Oh, Jessamine Duke says you're welcome. Yeah, I should probably say Jessamine is the one who sent the butter coffee. It's very sweet of her. Very kind gal. She obviously cares about coffee as much as I do, and I'm very, very moved by it. So thank you. Your pulse is pulsating, says Spot. Thank you. Nails in New York said, how cool is it that me and Dalton entertained Mark Henry? Dalton put up a video, and then Mark Henry retweeted it and had a good laugh. I haven't met him, but he's liked me, and he's been very, very nice to me. So I hope to have coffee with him one day. I'm sure he'll have a hoot. Ty 5 said, LOL, zero chill. My, that's for sure. Smoochie said, hi, RJ, love you. Well, zero chill either. So Karia said, Saugatuck is not far from where I live. They are North Lake, Michigan, and my town is South Lake, Michigan. So maybe when the weather is warmer. So Karia, I'll venture to Saugatuck. That would be fun. Who would be my favorite Muppet, said Bill. Love Fozzie's stand-up. I love his stand-up. However, my favorite is probably Sam the Eagle. Oh, and Wayne and Wanda. They were a singing duo, and every time they tried to sing, something bad would happen. Spot Center said, next time you're at IWC, you, sir, will be receiving some coffee from Ground and Hounds. Every pound saves a hound. That, you know, that guy was like a plumber or something, and then he thought up that rhyme, and he's like, shit, now I got to open a coffee shop that saves dogs just for this rhyme. Balthazar said, okay, how about Eureka's Castle or Fraggle Rock? Fraggle Rock had the way better music. Similar kind of premise where they're small and then things get bigger and things like that. But I would say Fraggle Rock. I think it had just a little more depth. Adult Virgin said 1001. Dear Lord, this is quite a competition. And he's using the yellow. Well, I guess you use the yellow when you make it to $10. Is that how that works? See what I'm learning? I hope you get to go on Busted Open Radio so you can call Mark Henry Marcus Henry. Last donation from me. Love that city house. And then I love you, adult_virgin. I love you. I will go back on Busted Open. Yeah, hopefully if Mark is there, I'd love to talk to him, so we've never met. And if Bully's on the show, Dreamer I love, and I'll go with Dreamer. My plan is to go back in the spring and bring David with me. So hang tight, adult virgin. May Miller said, do I like Brady Bunch, Marsha, or Jan? I hate the Brady Bunch, period. But I think I like Marsha more. Gonzo Dude 23, which was better? Baby Muppets, meaning Muppet Babies, or Tiny Toons? Muppet Babies, I think it was a real precursor to Rugrats. Vince Manajaro said, good morning, RJ. Toronto wrestling fan here who's now obsessed with your YouTube channel. Well, welcome, and my apologies. Nails in New York said, oh my God, we need Mark Henry on here. You would need a wide lens. Well, that's insulting, although I think he knows how he's set. Shayna Section said, Sesame Street might be the greatest TV contribution to America's elementary education system for low-income families. That is very, very, very true. As good as Mr. Rogers was, Sesame Street opened you up to a world of things, a lot of different animation, a lot of incoming art, creating a little smorgasbord for the kids. Ty 5 said, Tiny Toons is better than Muppet Babies. Well, Ty 5, I guess I'm going to have to block you from this chat room. Come on, lady, please. Adult Virgin said, yeah, the donations change color based on the donation amount range. See, I'm learning. We're learning this, and we're all in it together. Spot Center said, Clarissa or Amanda? Clarissa explains it all by a landslide, the aesthetic. She was a better dressed Blossom, to be honest with you. Ferguson was a great foil. The boyfriend there was hot, and he used to come through the window, and the theme song is amazing, and the logo is amazing. Amanda, nothing for me. Adult version said, yeah, we did this already. Nails in New York said, it's not insulting. He's a big muscly boy. That's what I'll call him. Fast Food Guido said, a stiff Tilly or a robust Donnybrook. I guess what time of the morning? You know, sometimes I like to wake up with a stiff Tilly, and then I like to wind down with a robust Donnybrook. And I'm, usually in the afternoon, I'll have a hootenanny. Nails New York said, did you watch the Royal Rumble? Yes, I did. And it was fun. I like people who are my friends, and I go, they're going to do well, and then they don't do so well, and I go, oh. But what are you going to do? Ty 5 said, you already have me muted on social media. Well, that's true. That was almost automatic. So I'll accept you already have me muted on social media, so I'll accept my block. Well, it was nice knowing you, Ty 5. Shayna said, what channel was Sesame Street on in Canada? We have PBS. It was WNED, serving Western New York and Southern Ontario. Speaking of, get your donations in. Steve Lagston sent $6.32, which is an oddly specific amount, and I'm okay with it. I'm very okay with it. Thank you, Stephen. That's so sweet of you. Does everyone get a kiss? Over $5, you get a kiss? Over $50. Glenn said, if you were cast in the movie Face Off, who would you play? The John Travolta role or the Nicolas Cage role? Well, don't they play each other? Like, who do I want to be John Travolta playing Nicolas Cage? Or do I want to be Nick Cage playing John Travolta? I think Nick Cage did a better job, so I would want him in the movie. So I'd rather play John Travolta because I think it would be a better movie overall. Who's the better Lawrence brother, Matthew Lawrence or Joey Lawrence? I'll say Lawrence Welk. Revenge of B. Craig 5 said, Muppet Treasure Island or Muppets from Space. Now, of those modern Muppet movies, I would say Muppet Christmas Carol was by far the best because Michael Caine was acting his ass off. And I said Muppet Treasure Island was kind of lazy on Tim Curry's part. I didn't think he had his work boots on for that. And whatever. They're not all going to be winners. But that's only in comparison to Michael Caine. Otherwise, I thought it was fine. I thought it was great. I thought it was better than Muppets from Space, who has Hulk Hogan in it, Jeffrey Tambor, and a young man named David Arquette. And the reason our feud started is because I told him in Muppets from Space he was overacting, and I think he ruined the film. So for the sake of our feud, I have to go with Muppet Treasure Island. Michelle said, you're having a lovely hair day and glad you didn't take Mario Cantone's advice and cut it. Thank you. I remember when I was in Pittsburgh in that hotel and the guy's like, when are you going to get your haircut? I still haven't got my haircut. Vince said, I learned grammar and math from Schoolhouse Rock. Anyone old enough to remember conjunction junction? Well, of course. I like that style of animation too. It's very dirty and 70s and hip. Smooches said, did you ever watch Zoom? Come on and Zoom, 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 Zoom, Zoom. And it'd be like, I'm Jared. I'm Elise. I'm very familiar with all versions of Zoom, and I really badly wanted to go on. Adult version said, this is probably a no, but do I happen to like Letterkenny? I do. A lot of the dialogue is very similar to how you talk, fast-paced and witty. Thank you. I'm friends with a young fella on there named Kate Trevor Wilson. He's the He's the burly, bearded guy, and I love him. He's a wonderful stand-up comedian, so go follow him. Spot Setters had enough with the best. Who's the worst Wayans family member? Whew. John. The best, though, is Kim. I'm a Kim Wayans guy, and everyone knows that about me. Balthazar said, worst sequel, Grease 2, Saturday Night Fever, or Jingle All the Way 2? Jingle All the Way 2, because it had Santino in it. Balthazar, come on. Glenn said, do I remember the Great Space Coaster? Very trippy show. That's a deep cut, Glenn. Rob said, what are the donations for? Well, Rob, to catch you up, I'm monetized here, so in the bottom you see a little dollar sign. You can hit it and give me, I guess, a tribute. Give the show a tribute. It'll go right back into production. I'll start making better coffee with better cups. I don't know. I do it for free, so then people are like, we feel bad. So he's a little, so you don't feel so bad. I hope that makes sense, Rob. Spot said, it's Sean Waynes, sure. Ty said, I don't think I've seen one full Muppet thing. Didn't realize there were so many movies. It's because you've been living in a cave playing your little games. Shayna said, what new Muppet adaptation should there be? And who would be the lone human actor starring in it? I think they should redo. They did a short parody of The Godfather called The Frog Father, and it was hilarious. It was wonderful and amazing. And I think they should redo The Godfather and still have Diane Keaton in her role. Rob said, have I ever met Vince McMahon? Yeah, I met him once, and I was like, what's with the suits? They look weird, and he was so embarrassed that he ran away. Nell said, are you friends with Dick and Dom? How did that happen? I am friends with Dick and Dom, who, if you don't know who they are, they're a wonderful British comedy children's duo, because Splat-A-Lot has different versions. And Splat-A-Lot, when it was on BBC, was hosted by Dick and Dom, and they recorded it in Toronto. So I met them and did a couple episodes with them, and we hung out because they were so sweet and adorable, and I like them very much, and hopefully I'll go back and see them soon. Eric Basinger, with a wonderful hat in his profile picture. Everyone admires his hat. Send 1005, which is so sweet of you, Eric. And if I had your hat, I'd tip it. Parnell said, ooh, $14.99. Dear Lord, I feel like I'm on sale. Small price to pay for some quality Sunday morning entertainment. That's true. You've paid a lot more for a lot less, everyone. So sweet of you. Gonzo said, is the random Hulk Hogan cameo in Gremlins 2 the best cameo ever? On my YouTube, I talk about it in the book, and he had his passage and his biography about it, and he had no idea what was going on. Adult_version said, well, I'll be gosh darn. That's wonderful to hear. I'll start a petition for RJ City's cameo on Letterkenny. I should really be a recurring character. Vince said, I volunteer as a tribute. That's not how it works, Vince. Rob McAllister said, I will ask the lesbians from Two Doors Down. Oh, yeah. So Rob, yeah. If they want to donate. They're looking for a male to help them with the donation. Maybe you could be that guy. If there's anything I do, it's bring lesbians together. Eric Basinger said, sorry you didn't like Pittsburgh. I like it. It was just that hotel. As a city, I like it. And it has 3 Mr. Rogers statues littered across the town. And I have only seen one, the T-Rex that's in a sweater. Glenn said, favorite David Arquette movie. And what's the worst David Arquette movie? I'll tell you something. Bonesaw Tomahawk is a very good movie. Wild Bill is a very good movie. He should have stuck to Westerns. The Tripper is good. And it all comes from him. So he certainly has the capability. The worst is probably 8-Legged Freeze because I'm not a fan of spiders. And I also didn't like See Spot Run, which will probably upset him, but whatever. Spot Center said, say, wake up, Lynn, and I'll donate a few schmeckles. Wake up, Lynn. 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 That was the NBC chime. Ty 5 said, no one likes Pittsburgh. It's just so far away from Philly. I'll tell you something, Ty. I did not like Philly at all. I wrestled there, and we were hanging out before the show, and David's like, let's go to this diner. I was like, why this diner? He said, it's good. It's supposed to be famous. And I turned to him, and I said, you're famous. Revenge of B. Craig 5 said, Muppet Sophie's Choice would be good. Yes, it would. And Meryl would knock it out of the park. Fast Food Guido said, society needs a Mr. Belvedere reboot. Arquette could play the Bob Uecker role. Not that well. He could play it, but not that well. So anyway, Michelle, wish you could make it Hamlet later on. You'll love it. Should you ever make it here, breakfast is on me. That is so sweet of you, Michelle, and I would love to do that in the future when things will be great. Glenn said, Webster or Different Strokes? Webster, Emmanuel Lewis is no Gary Coleman. I think we know that. Gary Coleman was really, really on fire. And the Different Strokes had a better theme song. I said, wake up, Lynn, and Spot Center sent me $2 in schmeckles and said thanks, and that's sweet of you. Now the world doesn't move to the beat of just one drum. No matter what you bum. No matter where you're from, it's a man in the world, it's a world of faith. Dun, 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 dun. There's a buzz of their own. It takes different strokes. It takes different strokes. It takes different strokes to move the world. Yes, it does. It takes different strokes to move the world. I'm watching a lot of David's house. Penniless Grandma said, didn't the Muppets make an alien parody? Or are you misremembering this? You're probably thinking of Muppets from Space, which isn't Pigs in Space. People get that confused. Muppets in Space was a movie where it turned out Gonzo's an alien. I hate to ruin it for you. Rob McAllister Bell said, Boy Meets World with Vader or Married with Children with King Kong Bundy? King Kong Bundy was on a lot. Vader was only on twice, and they're great and also horrible. So I like Boy Meets World better as a show, so I would go for that. Niels New York said the show took a different turn today. Namek Six said my new album should be called RJ Sings 80s TV Theme Songs. Steven said, am I a fan of Mad Men? No, because anger is just a way to hide better, deeper emotions. RJ Sings the Hits is a record I would buy. Bill Alexander said, still hoping for the musical version of RJ Does Coffee in His Underwear. Best voice ever. Gee, thanks. Rob McAllister Bell said, why do you sing different strokes like you had a stroke? I was in the mood for Toast, and I thought I had it on, and I didn't. Glenn said, new idea. RJ sings 70s, 80s TV theme song CDs. Sure, I'm not going to get sued by Norman Lear. Revenge said, Miss Piggy would play Sophie. She has the range. And on that note, I want to say thank you to everyone with your little donations and the things. And so if you watch any of my videos, I get like 3 cents or some shit. So leave me on an autoplay, and then I can continue to do this for the rest of my life until I hate it. And I don't want to do it, but I can't escape it. And then I get really begrudging and depressed. Thank you to Xavier Cugat and the gal who got me the wonderful coffee house. And, of course, all the women on The View. Let's get one final. Godspeed.